If you want guaranteed A-League excitement, controversy, goals and late drama, there is a very simple recipe. Just mix together Auckland FC and Adelaide United. There were two pulsating draws between these two last season. 12 goals in those two games, including 4 after the 90-minute mark. Plenty of emotion and talking points and a burgeoning footballing rivalry which has its third instalment today. The Reds are in town looking to storm the Black Knights fortress on a beautiful Auckland afternoon. And if last season is anything to go by, it'll be one you simply cannot take your eyes off. Welcome to Go Media Stadium for the continuation of round 3 in the Isuzu UTE A-League as Auckland FC host Adelaide United live here on Sky Sport. Jacob Spoonley alongside in commentary as the teams assemble in the tunnel. What chance more fireworks this afternoon, Jake?
Kia ora, Piney. Hello everyone at home. Fireworks, Piney, it is the season for it, but what wins out today? Andrioli's Adelaide Arsenal or Steve Corica's blue and black defensive behemoth? What I do know is we get to watch it play out in front of us here today at Go Media in the sunshine.
So from the shadows of the stand and out into the bright sunlight come the participants. Auckland FC in their familiar blue and black. A little wave from Guillermo Mai. Adelaide United in the white strip. And another very, very healthy crowd here at Go Media Stadium. We've come to expect it from the port. Some of these players experienced it last season. To others, it is new. The final few moments of quiet contemplation. The pre-match formalities. Steve Corica keeps faith with the side that started the 1-0 win over Western Sydney a week ago. Uruguayan Felipe Gallegos is fit again, but Louis Verstraete and Jake Brimmer continue in the engine room. English striker Sam Cosgrove continues the quest for his first A-League men's goal. Michael Vowd seeks a third straight A-League clean sheet. For the third straight game, Adelaide are unchanged. Captain Craig Goodwin plays game 160 for the Reds, drawing him 4th equal on the club's all-time appearance list. Up top with young gun Luka Jovanovic, Kikianis and Vreens, a formidable central defensive pairing. On the substitutes bench, potential debuts for two 18-year-olds, Ryan Mackay off Auckland's bench and Vinko Stanisic for Adelaide. Experienced imports Felipe Gallegos and Juan Muni are also set to provide their impact later in the contest. Ayrton Andrioli makes his first trip to Auckland as Adelaide United head coach. The Brazilian has overseen a win and a loss to start his A-League career. Having served as the club's head of youth football since 2020, he's replaced Carl Viet, who was in charge for the last 5 A-League seasons. Auckland FC boss Steve Corica takes charge of his 175th match as an A-League head coach today. 31 at Auckland FC after 144 at Sydney FC. He has lost just 3 of his 17 previous meetings with Adelaide United as a head coach. It's a milestone match for Dylan Parias today. His 150th A-League appearance. He was Melbourne City's 4th youngest player ever when he debuted for them in February 2017. He won a championship with Western United, had a year at Western Sydney before his move to Adelaide United at the start of last season. And Auckland FC attacker Lachlan Brook comes up against his first A-League club today. He debuted for Adelaide United in round 16 of the 2017-2018 season at the age of just 16. Lachlan Keever's on the whistle. Just his second visit to Auckland as a referee, assisted by Anton Shetinen and Isaac Travis. Nathan Shakespeare is the 4th official. Casey Rybelt standing by if required in VAR, assisted today by Hugh Fenton-Wright. Who breaks the deadlock today after 2 drawn contests? Will we have a victor? We're underway in the sunshine at Go Media Stadium. Auckland FC in blue and black attacking the goal to right of screen in the first half, up against the only team they have never beaten in the A-League, Adelaide, and their white away strip kicking from right to left. Action-packed, drawn matches last season, 4-4 here at Go Media Stadium, and one of the more memorable matches of Auckland FC's inaugural season. I'm sure they enjoyed scoring 4, conceding 4 not so much.
Well, not if you went off the post-match comments of Steve Corica, and that day Auckland looked to be cruising 3-1 up, heading past the 60-minute mark, and then Adelaide surged home. We'll talk about fireworks, talk about heading into the celebratory season. Well, these sides gave us 2 goals beyond the 90 last year. So expect energy, expect a directness to both of these sides. I love attacking, and that it goes the distance this afternoon.
Hiroki Sakai and the portion of the ground in shadow at the moment on our broadcast touch. Jake Goodwood-Reich has filled in admirably for Nando Peineke alongside Dan Hall in central defence, so much so that Steve Corica is going to have a decision to make when Nando Peineke is fit again. Back-to-back clean sheets for Auckland FC. As it was last year, they went 5 games without conceding.
180 minutes already. An early demonstration of their ability to blunt any given attack in the A-League, but still some way off that historic record-setting start to their A-League careers.
Big long throw from De Vries, dealt with by Vreens. Brummer recycles. Sakai not quite able to find Verstraete with the pass. It was almost a reversal of roles there. Sakai in the middle of the park and Verstraete outright. Maybe that was the reason for the disconnect.
Well, as we touched on in the build-up, expect Hiroki Sakai to come up against Craig Goodwin in a direct confrontation, and if not, the number 2 for Auckland will be very mindful about where the talismanic playmaker for Adelaide United is.
Interesting that Steve Corica has stayed with the same 11. There was perhaps a school of thought that he might give Hiroki Sakai some extra reinforcement in front of him in the form of Logan Rogerson, perhaps. Lockie Brook tends to drift inside a lot more and more of a free role, often leaving a bit of real estate in front of him. Maybe Goodwin might quite like the idea of running at Sakai.
Well, it's an early curiosity for the Port and Auckland FC fans. Logan Rogerson, 8 goals last season, 2 assists. Auckland have only scored 1 in 180 minutes. The question really is, where is the Tainui man at this stage? We've seen him in cameos, but Brook definitely been favoured ahead of the All White at this stage.
Kikianis calmly back to Smits, there for Cosgrove. Jesse Randall with a heavy touch, goes down in the area. Referee Keevers saw nothing wrong with it. Good work by Josh Smits.
Jesse Randall has fizzed already in this A-League season, and that is exactly what Steve Corica will be looking for. A ball into Cosgrove. Adelaide had dropped, aware of the danger that he posed, and that meant that he could knock the ball down to Jesse Randall. Now, the Port wanted a penalty, but I would suggest that Smits gets a finger, if not more, on the ball and just knocks it in front of Jesse Randall.
Well, Casey Rybelt will be having a look at it in VAR as play goes on. Sakai and De Cooley together. Jesse Randall, as you say, into the action. Let's have a look, Jake.
Well, Sam Cosgrove lays the foundation. Jesse Randall, first touch, Smits, an important second. And the Dutchman, he lets that one go in the rearview mirror. No looking back there. He's confident that he's done enough to deny Casey Rybelt and VAR intervening.
First set-piece situation for Adelaide United. Luke Dizelle with Craig Goodwin alongside. Maybe a set move coming here. Lachlan Keevers just wants to make sure that the requisite distance is being observed. Goodwin, slightly different angle towards the far post. Too big for Kitto. Elliot scampers across and is going to haul that one in. Ethan Elliot, a standout for Adelaide United already this season. Goodwin. And Dizelle. Luke Dizelle rips it into the penalty area. Chance for Adelaide United. It's still there. Really important tackle by Hall as Luka Jovanovic had a good side of goal. Dan Hall said, "You shall not pass."
Man of the match, Jake Gerwood-Wright with the initial intervention. It's a bit sloppy as the ball trundles its way through a resolute, or what should be a resolute, Auckland FC defensive effort. Ryan Kiddo thinks he's only got Michael Val to beat, but Jake Gerwood-Wright lunges in to nullify the danger. Well, it's only 5 minutes, Piney, but already we've had two big chances.
Adelaide United with a second set piece in quick succession. They'll use the same tactic, although this time Goodwin gives it back to Dizelle. Into the back of Louis Verstraete, and it fizzles out. Two pulsating draws last season between these two. Lots of talking points. Carl Veert, of course, was in charge of Adelaide United last season. Yet Andrioli has the reins now. We welcome you in, wherever you may be watching our coverage, in particular to the Adelaide United fans watching on in South Australia. Great to have you joining our coverage.
As you said, 10 goals between these two sides over two fixtures last season. My personal favourite, though, was Corica's reaction after Logan Rogerson headed that ball in. And what must have been the only couple of seconds remaining on the referee's watch.
Yeah, that was certainly a moment for the end of season reel at Cooper Stadium. Logan Rogerson among the reserves today as Goodwin chases after this one. Calmly headed back by Gerwood-Wright. He's been good, hasn't he, for Auckland FC? A fresh arrival and has hardly put a foot wrong.
Well, one of two new parts to this rearguard machine for Steve Corica. Obviously, Alex Paulson headed back to Bournemouth and then over to Poland in the off-season. Michael Veld stepping into the absent gloves, if you will. And then Jake Gerwood-Wright, a late addition, but an important one, stepping in for all-white Nando Peinecker, and he has looked every bit capable of replacing Peinecker.
Randall cuts inside, scored last week. This time it's into Mark Green's very similar position from which he scored the game's only goal a week ago. Jesse Randall is up and about at the start of this A-League men's season.
Auckland were very tentative in their pre-match comments about attacking football, but you can see the mandate has been laid down. They are wanting to get at Adelaide United, buoyed by the fact that there's a certain softness at times to this defensive effort for the Reds, but equally, as we said, 1 goal in 2 games for Auckland does not meet their high standards, and they're looking to rectify that early on here at Go Media.
This is Auckland FC's 11th corner of the season. They have yet to score from one. They scored 9 goals from corners last season. Randall, it's away by Kikiana, so chalk up another one for Auckland FC. They were so potent on corners last season. Haven't quite found the recipe this time around. They will recycle, though, through Lachlan Brook, up against his former employers. Estrada getting back well, and Takuli caught him. I think referee Lachlan Keevers has spotted it, but wants them to play on. And Jesse Randall won't quite haul that one in, so it hasn't quite worked out. Louis Verstraete's back on his feet, which is the best news.
This is of keen danger for Auckland. Louis Verstraete smells it because there is 4 Adelaide attackers that are bearing down on the halfway mark. Really important intervention from Louis Verstraete.
Well, breathless first 9 minutes. Tom Doyle's sideline. How's the energy, Doyle?
It's complete opposite to last week. We've got the fans up on their feet. It's end-to-end stuff. But that may be because there was a big conglomerate of people in the car park for Auckland FC's tailgate that they've put on. So you've got Ferris wheels going on, you've got tailgates. I think everyone's jacked for a big game here, Piney, so bring it on.
Well, we are as well, and we're 10 minutes in. The noise levels are good. It's a beautiful day in Auckland. I've been looking forward to this one. Now, Kikianis is going to take goal kick duties here and clears halfway towards Takuli. Dan Hall with an imposing header. Jovanovic has dropped out of the line to link up play.
This is more where Adelaide United want to be, circulating on halfway. They've got a plethora of runners in advance, do commit numbers forward. Craig Goodwin given that free roll. He starts up alongside Jovanovic, and then he's allowed to drop in or drift wide. And from there, there's an intuitive understanding from the likes of De Cooley, Kito, and Elliot comes from deep as well. They do look so free when they are flowing forward.
A rare misplaced pass there for Craig Goodwin. Adelaide United's all-time leading A-League men's goal scorer, 53. 160th match for them today. That draws them level with Michael Moroney in 4th place on the club's appearance list. Only Ryan Kito, who's out there today, and 2 members of the coaching staff, Eugene Galekovic and Isaias, have played more often for Adelaide. I saw Isaias before kick-off. He looks like he could still play. He's in very good nick. Eugene Galekovic too, to be honest. A good fitness regime going in the coaching staff at the Reds, obviously.
There's no fitness regime in the commentary box, nor would I be anywhere near the field, Piney.
Lachlan Brook. Ryan Kito holds him up. Brook still in possession. Mai trying to get it on that left foot. We know how dangerous that is. Brimmer. Cosgrove drops off the line. Adelaide back in numbers. This one's towards Sarkai. And it fizzles out, and this is a little bit alarming for Auckland FC with Hiroki Sarkai down on the turf.
And there's 2 hands grasping the hamstring, the left hamstring of Hiroki Sarkai. It's not good for any player, but for a player that has so much physical demand placed upon him to get forward, to join the likes of Francis de Vries down the opposite flank, and one at the age of 33. Not a good sign for Steve Corica.
Well, the happy news, if there is some, is that Steve Corica has a ready-made replacement in Callan Elliot there in the red bib. Hamstrings are normally an injury that you make a decision about straight away. There does seem to be a little bit of hope that Hiroki Sarkai may be able to continue.
What I'd suggest here is there's tightness. It doesn't look like there's been a pull or any ping in the hamstring. Sarkai asking for an assessment to take place, trying to buy himself time.
Well, there's the universal signal for a substitution. That's really disappointing for Hiroki Sarkai as he hands the captain's armband to Jake Brimmer after just 13 minutes. Clearly not able to carry on with the hamstring twinge.
Well, arguably, and albeit in sadness that Hiroki Sarkai is leaving this match, the game might become even more exciting. Callan Elliot, a very attack-minded fullback. You want to talk about dangerous delivery? Well, he is going to complement Lockie Brook, perhaps even more than his captain does.
So Callan Elliot into the action. It'll be his 22nd appearance for Auckland FC, following 47 at Wellington Phoenix. Couple of goals, 7 All Whites caps. He's a fairly capable replacement. And what will this mean 7 days from now in the derby? I wonder whether there's a bit of caution there, Jake. If it's just a twinge, just a bit of tightness, would you say to Hiroki Sarkai, let's make sure you're okay 7 days from now?
Well, here's a conversation that's about to take place. Coach and captain. Lovely shot.
He's so integral, though, Hiroki Sarkai. Scored the 4th goal in the 4-all draw last season. Looked to be the winner deep into added time before Bart Vreens popped up with Adelaide's 4th goal. Callan Elliott's first involvement's going to be a long throw. Looking for Cosgrove. Good header away by Bart Vreens. Shot by Dan Hall, who has never scored for Auckland FC, and that stat remains intact for the meantime.
Well, that shot screamed of a centre-back that knew he was the last man. Dan Hall quite keen to either give us a highlight or give Adelaide United a goal kick.
Just another shot from outside the box, which has been fairly common for Auckland FC. 10 shots on target. That one wasn't from outside the box this season. That's twice as many as anybody else. So maybe Dan Hall thought he'd join that party. 15 minutes gone at Go Media. Couple of attempts for both sides. De Vries lifts it into the path of Cosgrove. Just lost the ball there for a second, Sam Cosgrove. Back to Smits, who just manages to prevent the corner. Sam Cosgrove's mindset, very interesting to me, Jake. You come to a new club, you're a striker, you're highly regarded. How much pressure is there on him to get his first goal, to get that weight off his shoulders?
As we see the battle between Elliot and De Cooley as Elliot gets a tone, and it is a very interesting one. And if Cosgrove is under pressure, he's definitely not showing it at all. Seems to be not only a hulking Mancunian, but a very cool individual. Been in professional football for long enough to understand that there's a transition phase, adjusting to a new club, a new league, it's got to be said as well. Interesting comment from him after the Western Sydney game was that he didn't appreciate how physically demanding the league was. That's something that echoes comments that we've had previously from imports.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of overseas players arrive in the A-League and are caught by surprise by its physicality, its robust nature, its pace. Brook looking to switch play, sees Randall in the sunshine. Can't quite control it, Jesse Randall. Here's Kitto. Combinations down the left involving De Cooley. Jovanovic. Will come out left to Johnny Yull, a goal scorer in his 50th A-League match. Last time out, the cross not what he was hoping for, but the thumbs up for the effort on the far side.
When we talk about the freedom in Craig Goodwin's role, this is a great example. Somebody that has been a left wing is occupying that left-hand side of the front two. This time pops up at the back post where he's marshalled by Francis de Vries. And as you said, you could see what Johnny Yull was attempting to do there. Just curl it in. Just allow Craig Goodwin to try and get on the end of it. But unfortunately, the wind took that one up and away. And got to say, Piney, it is slightly breezy here in Auckland this afternoon. And the wind is going left to right as you look at it on your screens.
Late tackle on Jake Brimmer under the nose of Lachlan Keevers.
Craig Goodwin this time backtracking. And as we roll out a cliche, that very much is a striker's challenge.
So a narrow position for a free kick here for Francis de Vries. I know he's just going to hang this up towards the edge of the penalty area and roll the dice, as it were. Cosgrove on the far side might be the target. It is towards Cosgrove! And he can't divert it back across goal.
Well, with the wind at his back, Francis de Vries wanted to put this one into that back post, and Bart Friends, I don't think he knows that Sam Cosgrove was behind him. A suggestion that he pulled out of that header. And Cosgrove equally maybe saw that one just slightly too late.
Lockie Brook trying to get into the game, but ball is coming out the way of Adelaide United. Into the path of De Cooley from Goodwin. Good save by Michael Vout. Yaya De Cooley.
Oh, I'd argue that Craig Goodwin does not get the pace right on this ball. He waits for the run of De Cooley, and that's just a yard too far in front of De Cooley, but it is sharp work from Michael Veld. Read the angle, stepped early. A big barrier that De Cooley could not get the ball over.
Corner results, and Michael Veld comfortable with this one. He had to be very patient last season, Michael Veld, with Alex Paulson playing every minute of the season. But with Paulson having now departed, it's Michael Veld who has the gloves, the 6-cap, all-white Ollie Sale on the bench. Another with representative caps for New Zealand. So the goalkeeping stocks are strong at Auckland FC, and Michael Veld keeps the sheet clean. Put too much on that one, and good penalty area management from Veld as Parias loomed.
I do like Jake Brimmer in this deeper role. He started off last year in the number 10 role. That's now been occupied by Guillermo Mai, perhaps a more creative physical player, but Brimmer playing deeper gets to bring to bear his range of passing.
Good slick passing there from Adelaide, but the final ball not what was hoped for. Yeah, Jake Brimmer must obviously feel the presence, the returning presence of Felipe Gallegos. You get the feeling Louis Verstraete will play every game. It may be Brimmer v Gallegos for that second deep-line midfield role.
We've talked about Brook, and Brook playing ahead of Rogerson at the moment. Brimmer and Gallegos is another interesting internal competition, but it speaks to the fact that that's something that's been valued and prioritised by Terry McFlynn and Steve Corica. They want competition in every position.
They've got it up top as well. Lachlan Brook among a number of options. Ball rebounds into the penalty area, out towards De Vries. Tom Doyle's sideline. Where's the energy of the game at the moment, Doyley?
Look, there's a lot of energy happening on the field. There's a bit happening off, a bit of movement, obviously touching on the Hiroki Sakai. We tried to get some intel on that injury, but hopefully no more at half-time, and hopefully not too significant of a strain in the hamstring. Just keep an eye on Joshua Smith, because we are seeing he's not taking any long goalkeeper kicks, and we have seen Ethan Cox, the reserve goalkeeper, go down to the tunnels. So that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Thanks, Doyley. Yeah, Josh Smith's the Dutchman, freshly arrived at Adelaide United. Yeah, never a great sign when a defender's taking your goal kicks for you, so we'll keep an eye on that. Lockie Brook with a clever piece of skill, couldn't quite collect on the other side of Keto. Always want to play well against your former club, and twice in 2 weeks Lachlan Brook's come up against a former employer.
A lot of the chat in the off-season was about the combination between Mai and Cosgrove. I'm more interested in the combination between Brook and Mai.
Shot from Mai, rebounds to De Vries. Does well, De Vries into Guillermo Mai. Randall there. Auckland just holding on to possession. And Dylan Parias in game 150 in the A-League men's does enough, but Verstraete wins it back. Given back to Adelaide United, though, by Randall. And now Adelaide can break down the other end. Good energy to this game. Yaya De Cooley dispossessed by Elliot. Callum Elliot running into a bit of a cul-de-sac there, but did well to win the throw. Cosgrove peels away, wins a free kick, and will get himself up and into position for the delivery of this one. As you say, Jacob, the lack of a goal is weighing on him. You wouldn't know. He's doing all he can to impact the game.
And this is an example of how keenly aware opponent defenders are of the physical demand that Cosgrove places upon them. Equally, I'm not sure what Kikianis is doing there. He's got Cosgrove facing the touchline, away from the goal. There is no need to get that tight and get beaten by that sweeping touch from Cosgrove. All in all, it means that there is another set piece for Adelaide United to have to defend.
Francis De Vries inevitably in charge of it. Sam Cosgrove is in the 6-yard area. A clump of Auckland FC players just outside. Dan Hall's in there as well with Cosgrove. Everybody back for Adelaide United. delivery, as always, is king. And it's good from De Vries. Cosgrove! Weight off the shoulders of Sam Cosgrove. He's got his goal. It's the opening goal. And Auckland FC lead at 1-0.
Cosgrove opens his account. It's all smiles for the most recent Auckland FC import. I tell you what, Bart Friens realises that he has a problem, but it's all too late. He's left in the shadow of the massive Mancunian, and Friens is reduced to a spectator, along with the Port and rest of Go Media. Auckland have finally fed the big man, and he delivers. A competent header, controlled under Friens, under Smith rather, and into the back of the net.
Yeah, well, Friens saw it go over his head, and then it was simply a mismatch, wasn't it? Cosgrove against Elliot. And Sam Cosgrove, who's been talked about a lot, and finally has that first A-League men's goal. He's scored wherever he's been in his long and illustrious career, and he adds Auckland FC to the list of clubs for which he has scored. And Auckland FC, as they did a week ago, into a 1-0 lead in the first half.
Just rounding out the point about whether or not that goal was hanging over Sam Cosgrove's head. There was no reaction that suggested any sort of anxiety from Cosgrove. Just a beautiful smile after putting that ball in the back of the net.
Lachlan Brook trying to make some progress. Auckland FC with some wind in their sails as we have another look at Sam Cosgrove's first Auckland FC goal.
Kikianis, I think, will come under some scrutiny from Andrioli in the week. There was no need to give away the free kick. And it's resulted in Auckland FC's first set-piece goal of the season, having scored 20 last season. The path is well trodden, and Sam Cosgrove is the most recent to walk down it.
And Arias now making a nuisance of himself in the penalty area again. The long throw from De Vries, eventually dealt with by Adelaide United. Well, Steve Corica said before the game that one goal might be enough. I'm not sure in games between these two that one goal will be enough. Here's Randall into a good area. Good defensive header by Parias. And some trouble down here for Guillermo Mai, is it?
Well, Duzel went to ground early, and I think he's trying to play this one, but in those sort of circumstances, it becomes quite easy to get dangerous contact with a player like Guillermo Mai, who is arriving late. And Jake Brimmer is very unhappy about what has happened to his number 10. Looks to be some painful contact that's been made on Guillermo Mai.
Now, Jake Brimmer and Luke Duzel continue the conversation. Let's have a look to see what happened here.
Well, Duzel goes to ground first, but Mai's not far off, and what Duzel's trying to do is backheel the ball just to get a touch in front of Guillermo Mai, and if he does get a touch, it's minor. The majority of the contact, unfortunately for Guillermo Mai, is on a delicate part of the Uruguayan's anatomy.
Such a key part of this Auckland FC side. Guillermo Mai named the club's player of the year in their inaugural season. Some eye-catching strikes, some important contributions, and I get the feeling this will be one of those that you just have to run off. Lachlan Kivers is asking Guillermo Mai to go off.
Francis De Vries, you could see the template was clear. The design was there. Sam Cosgrove at the back, started off unmarked. Friens, and I think it's Kikianis, are trying to handle him, but all too much for Adelaide's resolve.
So the upshot of this is a free kick to Auckland FC. Gajumo Mai has gone off and is waiting to be invited back onto the pitch. In the meantime, Francis de Vries sets up another set-piece situation on the half-hour mark. Cosgrove lurking at the back again. This one is slightly deeper. Mai's back in the action. Confirmation of a yellow card for Luke Dizelle in amongst all of that. Here's de Vries. Narrower delivery this time. Dealt with by Adelaide. Brimmer tries to keep the move going. He might get another go at it. Auckland FC just labouring to keep this move going, but Lachlan Brook driving deep into enemy territory. Another shot from outside the area. They don't mind it this season.
And we didn't see that enough last season. Jake Brimmer, the former Johnny Warren medalist, playing up higher. Had to play in a lot more congestion. Playing deeper means he gets to get that rhythm, those touches up. And sent Auckland through the gears there. Passing it off to Lockie Brook. Dragged that one right of Smith's left-hand post.
There you go, 4 shots from outside the penalty area already today for Auckland FC. Saw a stat during the week that before today, 4 of their last 7 A-League goals had come from outside the area, so it's been a profitable strategy as well. Jesse Randall, and Randall! Almost identical to a week ago from Jesse Randall. Same position, other side of the post this time.
Adelaide played into the teeth of Auckland FC's press. As you said, it was recycled quickly. Jesse Randall released, and doesn't he love that right-hand post? Had it on his radar again. Last week it was Thomas, this week Smits. Evolved his game in the off-season. Just have a look at this. What Adelaide are trying to do is draw Auckland FC deep and then play into spaces here. They don't want to be putting the ball into a one-on-one aerial contest, rather trying to draw the midfield out, keep the defence deep and give themselves a target for that long ball. Lovely demonstration of that narrative from Adelaide United's goal kicks from our Sky Sports cameras. A small subplot, but a very important one, given the strength of Auckland FC's press and their ability to win the ball off Adelaide United already in this game.
Auckland FC looking secure defensively. They haven't conceded a first half goal in their last 5 home matches. Randall again causing problems. Mai is out there. And dealt with well by Dylan Parias. Just a bit of a lull in proceedings as players take a bit of a breath, perhaps. Adelaide United winless in their last 9 away games. Going to have to come from behind if they're to break that drought.
All a bit aimless from Francis de Vries, but the thumbs up to Sam Cosgrove. Well, I think de Vries saw there was Mark Friends had come across, Jesse Randall had made another underlapping run. The defence was stretched for Adelaide United. Kikianis had to deal with Cosgrove all by himself, so de Vries chanced his arm, knowing there was a one-on-one battle in his favour at the back post.
Joshua Smits is clearly okay to play the ball long as he's done there, so that's good news for the Adelaide custodian.
We might have to check Tom Doyle's sources there. Football espionage might not be in the CV just yet.
10 minutes remaining in the first half. Sam Cosgrove has the goal. It separates the sides at present. Being involved in some interplay down Auckland FC's left. Brimmer is buzzing around today. He looks well up for it. He's taken the captain's armband as well with Hiroki Sakai off injured. Chance perhaps now for Adelaide. Dizelle.
Johnny Yule should have released that into Jovanovic's path. If he'd got the ball there, Ryan Kiddo had screamed up the left-hand side and had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Kikianis. Game at walking pace at the moment. Now they'll get going. Elliot trying to play a ball in to the centre forward channel. Dealt with by Auckland FC.
Adelaide United's shape and possession is so intriguing.
Jovanovic. Dan Hall all the way with him, but it's out to Kitto. Elliot was setting himself. He might again, Ethan Elliot.
It all ends up with a goal kick, but what we saw moments before, Vreens and Kikianis central. And there's the shot. And it's Elliot, the rising star, the latest product of Adelaide United's football factory. There's a sighter there. But when they are in possession, only Vreens and Kikianis are deep and central. They set up, not for the first pass, but for the second. It's almost like there's 5 or 6 further forward. And they rely on Elliot and Dizelle to play through the congestion, to play around corners and get that ball into those willing runners that are in advance of the play.
Goodwin trying to set to Cooley away. De Vries well aware. Auckland FC managing Adelaide's attacking threats pretty well so far. Looking for a 5th straight half of goalless football at their end. Auckland FC, the only team in the A-League men's this season yet to concede. Brook finds Elliot. Waited to Vries, who wanted it to come down. The crowd wanted it to as well. They were already getting ready for the shoot call. Vreens with a header away this time. Randall on target that time. Josh Schmidt had to be aware and was.
Oh, it's a snapshot from Jesse Randall. Perhaps it's unexpected, but do not underestimate him. He has a skill set, which means he can score from a number of different ways. Loves taking on a defender. Equally at home, pulling the trigger from outside the box.
Well, Callan Elliot is one of a number of players looking to catch the eye of national coach Darren Paisley, who is no doubt either here or with very close eyes on this game. There's a battle for attacking positions in the All Whites, as well as Auckland FC, and Jesse Randall is doing everything he can to catch the eye of both Steve Corica and Darren Paisley.
All Whites with games in November, Colombia and Ecuador, in Miami and New York. As you said, you can talk about the Socceroos and the A-League players that are putting their hands up to be part of Tony Popovic's plans. Equally, Darren Paisley has a number of headaches on the horizon. Not necessarily who he picks, but who he leaves out.
Adelaide looking to construct something down the left. Craig Goodwin, of course, long-time Socceroo.
And here we go, just keep an eye on this. Vreens and Kikianis, you can see them there. They'll move the ball side to side, then they'll look for a pass like this. Trying to work the ball through the middle. As Adelaide retreat, Piraeus and Kitto, they set the bookends up nice and high for fullbacks.
Here's to Cooley, looking to cause trouble down Adelaide's right-hand side. Rips the ball across towards Goodwin, who couldn't quite track it down.
Perhaps just an impatience from Andrioli's Adelaide at the moment. Competent on the ball, look to set the rhythm. With the scarcity of possession without pressure from Auckland, when they do have time, just looking to thread the ball, perhaps through too many numbers, or wanting to hit a teammate that's just not ready.
Cosgrove has dropped very deep to try and link up play there. It's eventually found its way back to Michael Vout. Is this a chance now for Adelaide? Goodwin directing traffic. Dizelle. Auckland FC back in numbers and sitting in a low block at the moment. Kikianis. Here's Dizelle dropping in just as you suggested. Jacob, now the passing movement through the middle perhaps. Instead it's Vreens. Parias. Dylan Parias. Good run, good ball towards the far post, and Goodwin with the volley. Well, we've seen him score from similar positions in the past. Radar off that time, but Dylan Parias with an incisive move into the penalty area.
Well, it finishes with Perez standing the ball up to the back post, and I wouldn't bet against Craig Goodwin putting that one on target. Michael Vout in a good position, but that all came about from Luke Dizelle moving from that centre channel, dropping in alongside Vreens and Kikianis, and that drew Auckland out, and it also gave Adelaide rhythm. From that rhythm, they then created a chance, so that is what Andrioli will be looking for more of as we head towards half-time.
Won by Hall in midfield. Brimmer looks up and sees Randall. Probably only one thing on his mind, Jesse Randall, and it's to shoot! And a save by Smits up and onto the crossbar, or where the crossbar meets the post. Jesse Randall getting closer.
This is all about Jesse Randall's footwork. 1v1 up against Bart Vreens, cuts inside beyond Elliot, and somehow he manages to bend that towards the near post, only to see Smits get fingertips onto the crossbar. That is a wonderful save. Wonderful, wonderful work.
Absolutely terrific goalkeeping from Joshua Smits to keep it at 1. Corner results though, which Randall will take. More work to do for Smits. And he's sure as it flew towards him for a second time off the right boot of Jesse Randall.
I think relief as much as anything for the Adelaide goalkeeper. But Jesse Randall just wriggled there. Couple of step overs, cut back inside. And just cut the hips off to then get that directed back towards the near post.
.90 seconds or so to go, plus stoppages in this first half. We're told there'll be a minimum 3 extra minutes added. Hiroki Sakai's injury probably accounting for most of that time. Elliot. Kiddo bringing Goodwin in.
Well, Elliot has stolen his fair share of headlines, but Dizelle is the fulcrum for the attack. You can see him taking up central positions, very settled.
Here's a chance for Jovanovic! And in the shadows of half-time, Luka Jovanovic, everybody seemed to stop except for the 20-year-old. Lucky 13th goal in the A-League for Luka Jovanovic, and the Reds are level.
Well, through the silence and into the heart of Auckland, right before half-time, Adelaide United land a blow. We've talked about their intricate build-ups. This looks to be a lot more straightforward. What an instinct for goal. Jovanovic through 2, through 3. found himself in space in front of Veld, and that is an assured finish. Absolutely nothing Veld can do there. Devoid of defenders in front of him. Adelaide United's football factory comes up with more fireworks here in Auckland.
And for the first time this season, Auckland FC concede a goal. And it's come from the right boot of Adelaide United young star, Luka Jovanovic. First goal of the season, 13th of his A-League men's career. Scored his last goal in week 1 of the finals last season against Western United. And on the score sheet here, and just as it looked as though Auckland had control of the football match and were ready to go under the stands at 1-0 ahead, Luka Jovanovic with that goal scorer's instinct.
Needs to manage that one in. The wind seemed to grab a hold of it. But Piney, if you take care of 5 of this attacking Arsenal for Adelaide, the 6th will pop up and bite you, and that's exactly what happened. Auckland looked to pressure the ball. I'd love to see who played the pass, because Elliot and Dizelle were starting to become more prominent. It looks like it might have just been a simple clip ball in from Kikianis, we're being told. So Adelaide United changed the script up. Auckland could not adjust fast enough, and it's brought us level here at Go Media.
Well, I think they'll probably think they had it covered. Verstraete was on the edge, so was Goodwood Reich. Dan Hall made the final challenge, but couldn't stop Jovanovic, so there might be a bit of self-examination for Auckland FC at half-time. I'm pretty sure Verstraete was aiming for Randall there. Cosgrove got in the way. We're into the 3 extra minutes, in fact 2 minutes into the extra 3. De Vries in towards Brook. Josh Smits untroubled.
Well, he's been good in this first half. Smits has responded when called upon and has been live to the danger of Auckland's delivery into the box. And that was another smart piece of goalkeeping.
Here's Jovanovic again. Geez, a handful, isn't he? Still just 20 years of age, but making a name. Ayrton Andrioli, no doubt, had plenty to do with him as he was coming through the youth system. And watches on as Luka Jovanovic scores the equaliser here in Auckland.
As a terrier, combines work rate with composure. Earns himself a chance, and then very cool when it comes to taking them, as we've seen.
There might be some more here for Adelaide. Yull into Goodwood, looking for Takuli on the far side. Randall's going to head it away. We've had the extra 3. There might be more. There is no more in the first half, but a pulsating first 48 minutes here. And Auckland FC with perhaps more than a suggestion of disappointment. Sam Cosgrove putting them ahead after 26 minutes, but Luka Jovanovic, as half-time approached, sure-footed inside the penalty area to draw Adelaide level. Half-time here at Go Media. Auckland FC 1, Adelaide United 1.
request from any spectator to enter the field of play without authorization. Any spectator that enters the field of play without authorization will be evicted from the stadium, potentially banned from attending future matches, and handed over to police for further questioning. A financial fine may also be issued. APL is committed to providing a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone, and we ask you to respect the players and match officials by remaining within the seating bowl. As we celebrate Halloween weekend, it's time now for the annual ASC Spectacular Sprint. I've got 4 participants. I'm going to get you guys to say your name and what superpower you guys possess to win this.
My name's Josh, and I believe my height's going to help me out here. Less steps to take.
Nice.
My name's Sophie, and I'm kind of fast.
Fast? Sophie's fast.
I'm Abby, and I can fly.
My name's Scott, and I'm going to win by sheer footballing intelligence.
Oh yeah, intelligence. All right, up for grabs is a signed AFC jersey. Now, let me explain what they have to do. The participants will race to the first marker to put on their Halloween costume. They're going to get themselves decked out. Once that's on, they race over to the hula hoops. Here they are on the floors. In their costume, they get into the hula hoops and do 5 rotations. Think Elvis, think Ricky Martin when you're doing this. After your 5 rotations, you throw the hoop up in the air and you catch it with the opposite hand. Once you've done that, then it's through to the zigzags. Kick the ball through the zigzags, through the cones, and then score the goal. First person to score the goal wins that signed home jersey. We've beat the contestants. You know what their superpowers are. Let's see who takes.
No mai hoki mai, welcome back to Go Media Stadium, and oh, look at that, Tom, 2 goals. You did ask for goals.
We did ask for goals, and we wanted more from Big Sammy, and there you go. He deserved it. He's obviously worked hard in training to kind of get in those positions, but that's what you want from your number 9, to get up, to use his body, use his height, and there he is at the back post, and he took it well.
I have to say, we were talking about him during the match, and you are sort of wondering when he was going to turn up, and he really did. And then look at this, 45 minutes, almost right on the clock at half-time, and Jovanovic, bang in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was a really well-taken goal, but it was against the run of play. Auckland did really dominate, and they deserved to be 1-0 up, but if you switch off, you can concede goals like that late in halves. So, look, I think they'll be disappointed to concede, but a lot of positive things from Auckland. They created a lot of chances. So, look, I think if they stick to status quo of what they were doing in the first half, they should come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal that they've actually conceded this season, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens at halftime, what gets said, and what comes out next. But look, we have to talk about one man who's been performing so incredibly well. He's been trying really hard to get a ball on the back of that net. Jesse Randall, talk to me about him, Tom.
He played well last week as well, and he's really seemed to be stepping up his game. He loves getting on the ball and cutting it on his right foot, and he always looks to target that near post. He's got a great strike on him, but his ability to wiggle away from defenders and get shots off is proving so hard to defend against, and he's got a wicked strike on him. I tell you what, he deserves more, and maybe we'll see him be the crucial goal getter in the second half.
What makes him so slippery?
I don't know, but as a previous defender, it's a nightmare coming up against guys like that. You feel like they're so close, and then all of a sudden they've got a yard in front of them and they're on goal.
Now we're looking at some of those stats up on the screen there, Tom. Possession, Auckland FC 54%. What stands out to you? What
stands out to me actually probably doesn't show as much on the stats, but it was the dominance in the midfield. I'm sure we could probably get a stat up of that, but it's very even in terms of possession. I mean, the goals say it all, it's 1-1, but where you'll see this Auckland team, I think, take over Adelaide is in the middle of the park. We saw it with Verstraete, we saw it with Brimmer, we saw that dominance in the midfield that created opportunities, or created the ability to have opportunities on goal.
Well, it has been a very, very eventful game, and let's have another look at what else has been going on the pitch, because Dylan Price has been causing a few problems as well from Adelaide United, hasn't he?
He has, and then we go to the highlights now. He's just been where he needed to be. This could have been a bigger blowout, I think, for Auckland. As I mentioned, they're creating a lot of chances, but Dylan just always seemed to be in the right position. Obviously, one got in, but he's a very, very quality defender, and look, Auckland will be probably looking to steer clear of him this half, I'd say.
And there's Jesse Randall on his wing, just going. I don't know what it is about these guys, but there is something about these two teams that there's just an energy, isn't there?
There is, and it did start to pick up. I thought Auckland started a lot better at the start of this game. It was a bit slow last week, but that energy was from minute one, and we love to see it. It was end-to-end. There was opportunities, and that's what we asked for before the game. We asked for goals, and I know Steve said that, you know, one goal might be enough. It's not going to be enough in this game, so now they're going to need to go out and create more chances, because look, they don't want to finish with a draw in this game.
No, and something else that we don't want to be seeing is injuries, and we saw that with the captain Hiroki Sakai going down hard. That was pretty tough to watch.
It was tough to watch. He pulled up straight away. We tried to get word from the sideline of how bad. Obviously, he'll probably need to go on for a scan, but this was a massive loss. We spoke about the importance of Hiroki before the game, and especially being captain and the leader he is both on and off the pitch. It is a big, big loss for Auckland, so hopefully nothing too bad, but I guess time will tell once he's had some scans.
You can see the grimace on his face there, and we're just getting some late breaking news that it is in fact a hamstring. Are you familiar with hamstring injuries?
Yes, I am, but yeah, look, they can be anywhere from a few weeks to longer, but like I said, once they've had a full scan, they'll be able to know how significant it is, but he's hoping for a speedy recovery and hopefully only a few weeks on the sideline.
All right, well, we'll now check in with Ricardo Ball from Betcha.
Thanks, Ash. Yeah, a big game, big half still to come, and 263 is what you can get for the draw, which is as it sits now. And last season, that's how it ended both times these two played. But Auckland FC still very much the favourites at 225. Who's going to be the difference maker? Potentially Jesse Randall. He's had 2 shots on target already. He scored in game 1 here already this season, and you get $5 on him on the Betcha app to score any time in this second half. Download the Betcha app, bet responsibly. Back to Ash and the team at Sky.
Ricardo, thanks so much. All right, we're looking there at the port. They're very demure, very quiet at the moment, but they'll be wanting some sugar and spice in the second half. What do you want to see, Tom?
I want to see more of the same. I think they did everything we spoke about that worked for them last week in that first half. They got the ball wide, they dominated midfield. We saw Brimmer playing a lot deeper and being able to spread the ball quickly. What do I want to see? I want to see more goals, as I've said before, but they're creating those opportunities. We've seen that time and time again. Jesse Randall cutting in, he's hit the post. So look, I think if they can replicate what they've done, they'll come out on top in this one.
Well, you can't help but think we're going to see a lot more physicality in the second half. These are two teams very, very hungry. It's going to be interesting to see what they bring out. Make sure you do not go away. Auckland FC, Adelaide United, currently 1-1. What is going to happen? Stay with us right here on Sky Sports.
very concerned to notice any issues, text the word assist, followed by your message and location to 260 for video security support. That's the word assist, followed by your message and location to 260 for video security support. Smoking and vaping are not tolerated here at Go Media Stadium, which includes the use of e-cigarettes and vapes. Please respect those around you. We do not tolerate throwing cans or unkind language towards staff or other fans within the stadium. Adelaide is proud to be fueling AFC, and they want to fuel you too. Today we'll celebrate the amazing fans in the stands, and have got an awesome anchor prize pack ready for one lucky supporter. Here's the twist: if you're on the big screen, you're the winner. Who's our winner? Thanks to Anchor. Congratulations, you're our winner. Come down to the Anchor Caravan to collect your prize. We're standing by for the second half, folks. One goal each. We need you to bring the noise. Adelaide fans, I can't hear you. Auckland fans, this is our house.
Half-time here at Go Media, Ash Tulloch's sideline with Auckland FC goalkeeping coach Jonathan Gould.
Thanks, Piney. Jonathan Gould. Interesting 45 minutes. How would you describe it?
Yeah, well, we obviously lost our captain, which wasn't brilliant. Just a slight hamstring strain, but then scored a good goal from a set play, and then probably could have gone 2 or 3 up. Jesse had a tremendous shot and a great save, and then we just sat back off the game a little bit in the last 5 minutes of the second half.
Conceded your first goal of the season. What do you need to do to make sure you can stay clean in the second half?
I'll probably just maintain the work rate that we did in the first 40. Make sure we can kind of cramp them out in that midfield, and then I think we'll get more chances.
All right, Jonathan Gould, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Yeah, Jesse Randall had, apart from the goal, the best chances for Auckland FC in the first half. Callan Elliot on for Hiroki Sakai early. He'll be in the sunshine in the second half. Jake Brimmer, a driving force, as per usual. Ethan Elegich in those midfield battles as well. Lachlan Brook looking for something against his former side. Second half underway. Adelaide United now kicking from left to right as we look towards the goal that the Port are behind. Auckland FC in blue and black attacking the goal to left of screen. Half-time messages, particularly from Steve Corica's point of view, Jake?
I think we've got a suggestion of what they would be from Jonathan Gould there, and if you draw a line between the 2 key points that Gouldy mentioned, Hiroki Sakai's absence meant that the person that was there to drive standards when the team's tired, when there's lethargy building into their play, wasn't there. And in the 5 minutes before half-time, you consider how the goal was conceded from a direct ball, Kikianis into the likes of Dukuli and Goodwin. You'd argue that the person there to drive standards wasn't, and that might be the reason why Auckland find themselves level, because of the absence of that leadership.
Well, it certainly puts the game back in the balance, doesn't it? Not just on the scoreboard, but in terms of the energy, the momentum of the game. Auckland FC had it probably for the majority of the first half. Certainly Sam Cosgrove's goal gave them a spring in their step, but Luka Jovanovic, geez, another one of these impressive young Australian strikers. They seem to be so plentiful, don't they? Both here in the A-League men's and overseas. Getting a bit jealous over the side of the Tasman, all these wonderfully prolific young strikers. There's a couple going around New Zealand, of course, as well, but Luka Jovanovic catching the eye.
Well, Adelaide seems to have a tailor-made replacement every time they sell one of those exciting young strikers. Love to be able to see some data on where their number 9s and their wingers are now, dotted around the Championship, League One, Scottish Premier League.
Yell brings Jovanovic in. The pass back, which was aimed presumably for Yell, given away to Craig Goodwin. You don't want to be doing that. Elliot tries to find Goodwin, and it fizzles out, but Auckland FC just a bit sloppy at the back, and well, they started the second half in much the same manner that they finished the first, and there was a rather high degree of dissatisfaction with that from Jonathan Gould, so maybe they'll be getting an earful from Steve Corica bottom of screen. Here's Piraeus, and De Vries and Piraeus running stride for stride. They both went to deck. Piraeus had a look at Lachlan Keevers just to inquire as to the legality of it all.
Francis De Vries runs the angle. Well, there, Piraeus trying to get around the outside of him. It's awkward. Perhaps not a free kick that Piraeus was looking for that time, but definitely planting the seed in the referee's head about any further conflicts between the number 15 and number 20.
Cosgrove nods it on, but no one in the centre forward position for Auckland. Hall rips one into Cosgrove. Again, it breaks down for Auckland FC. Lachlan Brook, Sam Cosgrove, Gijumo Mai, Jesse Randall, the front four for Auckland FC, just looking to continue to build on their connections. Of course, Cosgrove and Brook weren't here last season, so it is very much a work in progress. De Cooley onto a quick Adelaide United throw. Brent. Piraeus. De Cooley lurking out on the left. Good ball to find him from Piraeus. Yaya De Cooley looks up. Jovanovic in the area. And Callan Elliot standing strong but conceding the corner.
Well, that comes off the back of the way Adelaide United set themselves up. A lot of numbers centrally. Means that when they do get the ball out wide, there is space for the likes of Yaya De Cooley to exploit. He had the chance to try and feed the near post, but looked up and saw Dan Hill, decided to try and take on Callan Elliot. Composure from the number 17.
More defending to do, though, for Auckland FC. Giselle going to take this corner with the sun in his eyes towards the near post. Elliot gets it away. Adelaide can recycle back out to Giselle. Too much on it that time from Luke Giselle.
Well, yet another A-League side benefiting from the hibernation of Western United. Luke Giselle moved to South Australia from Melbourne, from Western United. Really is forming what is a pretty compelling partnership with young Ethan Elliot.
Yeah, Juan Muni, the new Spanish import, has yet to start a match for Adelaide United. He's come off the bench in the last two. May well do so again here this afternoon. At the moment, though, as you say, Jake, Giselle and Elliot, a pretty attractive proposition for Ayrton Andrioli. Elliot shrakes one out to De Cooley again, and the touch just letting him down and letting Callan Elliot nip in. Adelaide again, though, snap back and win back possession. Right, Kiddo driving into enemy territory. Again, it's Kikianis this time. Adelaide United have definitely started the second half stronger. Goodwin, Jovanovic couldn't quite wrap his foot around it, but the chances are coming in front of a worried Port.
You cannot teach this. Luka Jovanovic just has a nose for where the ball's going to be and where the space will open up. Craig Goodwin, head down, had no idea where the number 9 was, but Luka Jovanovic understood exactly where the ball was going to be delivered.
Justin Andrioli must be delighted, first of all, with his team's response to going 1-0 behind, and secondly, the way they've come out in the second half. Chance to release the pressure valve now, though, perhaps, as Kikianis fouls Jake Brimmer and offers a hand of apology.
Just a moment of respite. Auckland FC have been pinned back. Adelaide United have started the brighter. And evidence of that is this crowd here at Go Media have been reduced to a murmur. There's not much in the way of rhythm or volume out of the port at the moment.
So De Vries, Cosgrove's on the far side, just where the shadow becomes sunshine there. Wonder whether that's the target for Francis De Vries. It is towards Cosgrove, but too much on it from Francis De Vries. Hard looking back into the sunlight as well, I'd imagine, Jake.
Well, that was the natural angle for the left footer. Francis De Vries just changing his delivery, this time into the wind. Perhaps tried to overcompensate there, and too much on it for Sam Cosgrove. But it wasn't difficult, Piney, you're right. Looking back, right back into that sunshine, which is sitting here in Auckland.
Tom Doyle's sideline. Feels as though Adelaide have started far better in the second half than Auckland FC have, Tom.
And just even looking at the coaching boxes, Andrioli's got a very calm and he's on his feet, but the words coming from that Auckland FC box are just that it's not good enough, this first start to the second half, especially coming from Jonathan Gould towards that front three of not being able to hold up the ball and just creating more pressure for them. So there may be changes if that doesn't shift for Auckland FC.
Well, certainly options, thanks Tom, for Steve Corica in those attacking positions. Liam Gillian is on the bench, so too Logan Rogerson. There's a couple of options straight away for Steve Corica if he wants to do something in the attacking third.
Auckland on the back foot at the moment. The energy that defined the first 30 minutes, the bite that was in the press in and around the 18-yard box for Adelaide simply isn't there. And what's replaced it is this 1- and 2-touch passing from Adelaide United as they work the ball forward.
It just broke down there, but it was another good example of it, that slick first-time passing. Auckland perhaps, though, with a chance to fashion something now. Randall feeds De Vries. First-time ball stands it up towards the far post. And Elliot was arriving. Cosgrove had gone central.
Well, Auckland Brook would be someone that wants to get on the ball. We've talked about wanting to develop that combination with Guillermo Mai, two players with personality inside the structure. Just have a look at that change in possession. The inversion of the first half. Adelaide United now dictating tempo and dominating the ball.
This is round 3 of the Isuzu UTE A-League. First in a triple header for you today. Newcastle against Sydney at McDonald Jones to follow, then MacArthur welcoming Western Sydney to Campbelltown. Here's Randall, steals a march, Jesse Randall, but only momentarily. Does win a corner though, as it was Kikianis. It looked as though Randall had got the better of him initially, but credit Paniotis Kikianis, he got back and blocked the shot.
Just have a look at the reaction of Smits there. He's aimed his anger at De Cooley. De Cooley initially went out to press the ball, and then as Brook turned, got his head up, there was nothing in the way of a reaction from Yaya De Cooley, and that really led to the danger and this corner for Auckland FC.
Now look where Cosgrove is, right out by the penalty spot this time. Now he tracks towards the far post. In it comes, dealt with by Adelaide. Yola heads it further away. And Lachlan Brook goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. De Vries looked like it stayed onside, and the ball might break free, and but for the intervention of Bart Vriends, had to make that tackle because it was 3 on none otherwise.
We talked about the instinct of Louis Verstraete in the first half, very similar circumstances. This time it's Bart Vriends sniffed out the danger and time to challenge to perfection with two Auckland FC attackers just waiting for him to slip or mistime that important intervention.
Again, the ball breaks the way of Adelaide United as Dazelle tries to find Jovanovic, just a bit too much on it. Talk about Adelaide United's passing game, so impressive. The highest pass completion rate in the first two rounds, 85% accuracy on their passes across those two games. Just by comparison, Auckland's was 78%. So it's an Andrioli encouraging his team to share the football, do it accurately, do it with a crispness that is well and truly evident out there tonight.
It's intimidating to know that a man like that, who likes to play off, as we said in the first half, the second pass. But if you're Auckland FC, if Adelaide get their tails up, there's a wave that starts developing and repeats. They get their rhythm going, then it'll send a message to Auckland FC. And we've already talked about the fact that they, in the second half, have quietened down the crowd here at Go Media. Now looking to build upon that.
Just a word or two the way of Dylan Parias from Ayrton Andrioli.
And just have a look at this. You can see the attackers from Adelaide United now coming down. They're looking to exploit that space in front of the Auckland FC backline. Really drag them deep in order to create space to develop the ball forward, nullifying the press amongst other things. Piney.
Auckland FC push Adelaide back on this occasion, but certainly the momentum of the game is with the visitors. Francis de Vries on the end of a heavy challenge from Craig Goodwin.
A bit of frequency there. The fouls from the feet of Craig Goodwin.
No foul. Just a... Well, he certainly has made contact, hasn't he? But the upshot is a throw to Adelaide.
Apologies. Thought the whistle there was for a free kick. For a foul on Francis de Vries. Adelaide United throw.
Again, there's just an energy and an exuberance about Adelaide United in the chase and the way they're playing the game. Back to Vout on his favoured left foot, though. Cosgrove's dropping deeper and deeper all the time to try and recycle play for Auckland. Crowd trying to find their voice as we tick over the hour mark. That one maybe fortuitously has found its way through to Guillermo Mai. Cosgrove up with him, Randall as well. Here's Guillermo Mai once again on the left foot. And getting back Ryan Kitto.
Well, he said fortuitous, and I think it's fortuitous in the fact that Guillermo Mai is able to pounce on the loose ball, but it is only loose because of a wonderful touch from Lockie Brook. He knew that there was a chance and gambled on the fact that if he flicked it around the corner, it might release the number 10. And it is the retreating Luke Dazelle that squeezed the space that Guillermo Mai was trying to create.
Auckland FC have only ever lost twice here at home, only once in a regular season match. That was to Western United last season. But they are well and truly in a fight here. They break up the latest attack that Johnny Yole was trying to create. Lachlan Brook doing all he can to try and lift the energy of the side.
And it looks like White and Tattoo are going to be added to this one, this cauldron by Adelaide United. Currently sideline awaiting a stoppage.
They love the intent, the youngsters being introduced by Andrioli, but here come Auckland FC. Lockie Brook to the back of Luke Dizelle. Ryan White, just 21 years of age. Amlani Tattoo, 17. His most recent appearance was here, actually, in that 4-all draw. Looking forward to seeing what he can add in the last half hour of this game. Dylan Torres, careless, in by Verstraete. Cosgrove coming to the near post. Couldn't quite get the angle right.
One thing to note is that Adelaide United haven't created chances with frequency while they have been dominating this first 20-odd minutes in the second half.
De Cooley. Farias outside. De Vries across at the expense of a corner.
And here's the chance down the other end. Verstraete hunting down the ball. And it's a smart ball into Sam Cosgrove at the near post. But one thing that Steve Corica can rely on is the stability and the certainty in this league of chaos of his defence. It is part of the DNA that Auckland have built in this first couple of seasons.
Here is the teenager, the 17-year-old Amlani Tattoo, just a 4th appearance in Adelaide United colours. As I say, he had 9 minutes off the bench here in the 4-all draw last season. And Ryan White is on for Yaya De Cooley. A good shift from De Cooley, but he makes way for Ryan White as Adelaide United and Craig Goodwin line up this corner. Michael Vowd secure under that one. Wants to set Jake Brimmer away. Lockie Brook is charging down the left-hand side and Brimmer finds him. Can't quite get it under control the first time though. Now recycles. De Vries goes past him. Brook ignores him. Towards the far post. Headed from Randall, but no power. Had to make the power himself. The angle that the ball was coming, couldn't quite do it.
Well, what a beautiful ball from Jake Brimmer. Lockie Brook had to check his run as it just skipped away from him. Lockie Brook stands it up on his weaker foot, not enough power on it, and Jesse Randall has to wait for the ball to get beyond Ethan Elliot and then try, as you say, Piney, to create that power. He ends up putting it into the turf and sits up nicely for Smits.
So Steve Corica has already used one of his allowed substitutes and one of his allowed substitution windows to get Callan Elliot on for Hiroki Sakai. May well be that a Rogerson or a Gillian, maybe a Gallegos could be summoned. 25 to go. Dizelle rakes one out towards Tattoo. Can't quite bring it down under pressure from Callan Elliot, and Elliot does well to win the throw.
He's had a busy afternoon. A 1v1 tussle against Yaya De Cooley, and now faces the fresh legs of Amlani Tattoo.
Adelaide pick it up again. It's a good run from the freshly arrived White. His fellow sub Tattoo now. Amlani Tattoo deflected. It'll be a corner. Goodwin goes down in the area and appeals to referee Keevers, but already White and Tattoo showing out.
That's a very smart ball from White. Sees the space, gives the ball to Tattoo. Amlani Tattoo cuts it on the right foot, looking for Vowd's back post. As we talked about, Auckland so disciplined defensively. Brimmer and Elliot combined to deflect that one out for a corner.
Another Adelaide local, Amlani Tattoo. out of the Salisbury East and Croydon junior clubs. And now he's in the middle of what looks to be just a complete...
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on there. Just an utter throng of players.
There's a maul that looked to be rolling towards Michael Vell's goal line.
So Goodwin lines it up in towards all those players. Bout punches, not cleared. Across goal by Jovanovic. Tattoo couldn't turn it in.
How? How has that not gone on?
I think by good luck more than good management as far as Auckland are concerned, but they have escaped. It's still 1-1. Logan Rogerson is being readied.
Well, it's a dangerous ball into that near post. As we said, congestion everywhere in front of Michael Vell. He tries to clear some of the danger, looks to punch, but only puts it into the back of Verstraete. Is that Piraeus that flashes the ball across the goal?
I think it might have been Jovanovic, and I think really he'll look back and think he probably could have actually scored there.
I was reminiscent of the chance that Jesse Randall had in round 1 against Melbourne Victory. In that situation, though, Randall had his back to goal. Jovanovic, though, let's have another look. It's awkward. The ball then falls to Jovanovic. He has to put the ball on the back of the net there.
Yeah, there's room there, isn't there, between Michael Vell and the post.
I do wonder as well if VAR had a look at that, if it's been played at by an Adelaide United player, is Jovanovic offside at that point? We won't know, nor do we have to look back at it, but it might be something to be reviewed on a Monday by Andrioli.
So Logan Rogerson is stripped and ready. We're told it'll be Sam Cosgrove who comes off. So that'll change the shape of the attacking line for Auckland FC.
Jovanovic is a terrier. Perhaps sparked by that missed opportunity, but he is everywhere across that front line.
So Sam Cosgrove with the first goal for Auckland FC today. He takes his leave after 69 minutes. And Logan Rogerson
Jesse Randall heads up front to occupy the space left by Cosgrove.
So it's a very different point of attack, isn't it? Sam Cosgrove with the aerial prowess. Be a different way of playing in the last 20 minutes for Auckland FC in an attacking sense.
Suggest as well that this means that Steve Corica, as you'd expect at home, is going to be adventurous. He wants to change gears. Logan Rogerson, as we said, 8 goals last season, 2 assists. It also means that the line will now be led by Jesse Randall with Guillermo Maia in support, and defensively, as much as anything, it means that Auckland will have energy up the field. They have not been able to disrupt or to agitate Adelaide United as they have built up play. That really has been a defining piece in the second half, is Adelaide United's possession and their ability to dictate build-up.
A real battle going on over there involving Luka Jovanovic and Dan Hall.
There we go, immediately Jesse Randall, Guillermo Mai now hunting the ball. More agility, more energy than what we saw with Cosgrove. Perhaps still just adjusting, as we said, to this league. The energy, the output required.
There's Tattoo. Can he get there ahead of Dan Hall? No is the answer. And actually kept it very well by Dan Hall. Elliot. Randall. Brooke. Rogerson with the first chance, perhaps he nods it back across goal. Cleared by Adelaide. Tight area here. Brimmer wants it in the middle of the park, doesn't get it.
Just feels like it's in the balance at the moment, waiting for one of these teams to grab the game, to assert some authority. But what a contest so far. Chances, we've had 2 goals already, and going by previous fixtures, we won't be done with that. It's about this time that Adelaide United came back into the game, having been 3-1 down last season.
Well, there were 4 goals in the 2 games between these two last season after the 90th minute.
Truly remarkable. Every reason to stay with us here at Sky Sport.
Both teams just having a bit of trouble with their fluidity at the moment. Kitto looking to set Tattoo free. Elliot having none of it.
Tell you what though, Piney, on the other side of the Tasman will be another set of New Zealanders keenly watching this one. The Wellington Phoenix play tomorrow, Derby next week.
Here come Adelaide again. It's behind Goodwin though. And there's our running clock towards the New Zealand Derby. 7 days and about half an hour away from Derby 1 of the season. Brook, he stands it up. No one at the far post to take advantage.
What's been noticeable is that there's always been a runner to the near post, but the secondary runs coming off the wingers of the attacking midfield have been static once the ball has been advanced into the 18-yard box. Auckland adept at that movement, that awkwardness, changing a 50-50 into a 60-40 in the box. In Adelaide's box today, that simply hasn't happened yet.
Here's Parias charging forward in game 150. Stopped in his tracks by Verstraete. Mai can't keep things going. Verstraete steps in again. Brimmer. Adelaide's next game is at home against Western Sydney on Friday night. I'd love to go back across the Tasman with the 3 points. There you go, the next 5 for Adelaide United. They travel to the Phoenix in round 6 after home games against the Wanderers in Melbourne City.
Well, Luke Dizelle is going to make way. The Munyi, the Spanish midfielder, will come on.
And Fabian Taladera also. There is Juan Muni, the 33-year-old Spanish midfielder. Ryan Kitto coming off. Muni replacing Dizelle. Taladera on for Kitto. Another youngster, 19-year-old Fabian Taladera. As we approach the final 15 minutes, in fact, are inside the final 15 minutes of regulation time.
Well, Auckland, not exactly statesman-like with their age at the moment, but the contrast with Adelaide, seemingly younger and younger outside of Munyi as they make these substitutions. Not only quite happy developing players, but giving them the opportunities in games like this as well. Away at Auckland. Arguably one of the most tough away trips in the competition over the last season and a bit.
Louis Verstraete with the yellow card. And importantly for Adelaide, a set-piece situation, which Craig Goodwin immediately addresses.
Verstraete, hands in the back, a clip of the ankle. A message for the referee, but that doesn't stop the number 6 for Auckland going into the book. Now that's a great shot. Just look at the contrast between the shadow and the light filtering in through the stadium here at Go Media. Craig Goodwin stands one up to the back post. It's going to travel dark to light a couple of times as it makes its way in towards Michael Veld. It's going to be awkward for the goalkeeper.
Goodwin knows it. He's going to hang it up and does towards the penalty spot. And corner results. Callan Elliot with the final touch.
Well, Elliot does well to track this in, because look at the grey shirts rising. Two at his back. Suggestion that, who's that? Is that Friends? Oh, it might just have been a touch from the Adelaide captain, but the retreating Callan Elliot, enough to get it up and over the crossbar.
Corner taken. More defending to do for Auckland FC. Goodwin on the edge. A cross goal and into the grateful hands of Veld. Brooks still involved. Driving on Lachlan Brook. Still going. Finally, he stopped in his tracks by Ryan White. De Vries. Mai. Rogerson outside. Mai. Randall against the post. And into the back of the net from Louis Verstraete. A yellow card a minute ago. A goal scorer now. Louis Verstraete, to the delight of the port. After Randall's header had crashed off the woodwork. The Belgian driving home the goal that gives Auckland FC a 2-1 lead with 10 minutes to go.
Well, Mai waited, he wriggled, used Rogerson to take away the defence. It wasn't the first time of asking, but the second that Verstraete finally crashed the ball beyond Smits. Here we go, let's have a look at it. Mai waits, he wants it on his left foot, gets it, Randall! Off the post, Verstraete, the fastest to react, and it is 2-1, Auckland FC. Verstraete wheels away to enjoy that one. It's a clean hit. Smith's adjusting to his left, can't get back right. Verstraete enjoys that one.
Third goal for Auckland FC for Louis Verstraete. His first of the season, and as we go inside the final 10 minutes now, Adelaide United have to once again change the game. Do not put it past them though. Do not put it past them. They came from 3-1 down here last season to draw level at 3-all, and then were 4-3 down and made it 4-all. Reducing a deficit does not daunt them. Here's Ethan Elliot. Well, everything about it was just eye-catching from Ethan Elliot. The shot not quite what he was after, though.
Well, was where Dazelle left off, White has picked up. It is a lovely ball around the corner. Not only puts Elliot in amongst Auckland's midfield, but facing forward, Verstraete can't bite. He's already on a yellow. Let's not forget. And Elliot agonisingly pulls that one beyond Veld's goal. You said, Piney, that we can't ignore them, can't ignore their late surges, particularly here at Go Media. Well, there's a reminder for Steve Corica and Auckland FC. An immediate response.
Elliot's looking to free up Tattoo this time, and that one is defeated at the sideline. Tom Doyle's sideline for us. High excitement as that ball hit the net, and a couple more subs coming, Tom.
The Port need an injection of life, and they got it. And Cam Howison and Gygos were actually going to come on earlier, but they held back that change. And I do wonder if now they've had a thinking they're going to go a bit more defensive. We've seen them do it in the past, and I think you'll see Cam Howison sit a bit deeper, really lock in that defence for the last 8 minutes of the game.
Well, I would suggest that Jesse Randall, who makes his way down the far side and will get a standing ovation from the Port, that Cam Howison will step into his shoes, often used by Corica to inject some energy. He's defensively minded, but he's able to bring that to bear on defenders in these late stages as they want to commit numbers forward and keep the ball developing further up.
So first appearance of the season for the Chilean Felipe Gallegos. I think Tom's right, Cam Howison on for Jesse Randall is certainly a closer situation, isn't it? Tommy Smith came on so often last season to close games out. I wonder whether that's the role Cam Howison will fulfill. Just sitting at the base of midfield, Gallegos there too, Verstraete, as they look to close this one out, perhaps.
Well, interestingly, it looks like Auckland have kept the back four at the moment. As we saw, particularly with Tommy Smith last year, there was a tendency to drop into a back five, wanting energy, wanting to deny Adelaide United.
Elliot, what a ball, what a fantastic ball. And Muni, that is such an incisive delivery from Elliot to Muni. Corner results, but knife through butter stuff from Ethan Elliot.
Well, let's have a look. Suggestion he's going to look for White in that pocket. No, more direct. Muni just on shoulders, and Jake Gerwood right up and looking at the linesman, asking for the offside. I'm not sure it would have been given.
Corner's been taken. High octane football here at Go Media. Goodwin right gets it away. Brook keeps it in but can't keep possession. Goodwin. Here's White. Taladera is dropped into left back, where Ryan Kiddo's been. Taladera, the youngster, just 19. Ryan Kiddo, 12 years his senior. Goodwin almost pulled the trigger. Parias, and it goes. Header back across goal. And a flag up on this near side. And Auckland FC's fan base can breathe.
Well, it looks like Kikianis is making his case that was actually Dan Hall that got the touch. The defender bringing the Adelaide United strikers back on side, but it might be this initial ball in where Kikianis finds himself offside. Regardless, just feel the pressure ratchet up again on Auckland FC. Will this defence hold?
Tattoo's off on a run. Taladera has found him. He stayed on side for the meantime. Can he kick the ball in? Well, that looked to have gone behind. We'll play on for the meantime. The Port were almost certain that had gone behind. Austin Ayubi is getting ready to make an entrance for Adelaide United. Here's Elliot, who's been excellent. Goodwin always dangerous. Elliot behind for a corner.
Well, Elliot furious that the call wasn't made for a goal kick and that Tattoo adjudged to have kept the ball in play, but let's also acknowledge that Kellen Elliot has played some role since his captain had to depart because of a hamstring injury.
Austin Ayubi into the action. The excellent Ethan Elliot will watch the final 3.5 minutes plus stoppages from the bench, but Adelaide United have a corner. Dan Hall with the header away. And towards Bart Greens, who'd been up for the corner. Just while we have a moment, you'll notice the black armbands being worn by Auckland FC today. They're in honour of Lachlan Brooks' grandfather, who sadly passed away overnight at the age of 84, Dieter Karras. Our thoughts and best wishes with the family of Lachlan Brook, his teammates, paying tribute today to the grandfather of Lachlan Brook. Tatu's away again. He can't get there, just a bit narrow. As Fowl used all of his penalty area.
Our thoughts, as you say, are with the Brook family. Right here and now, though, the suggestion, the narrative is building. Adelaide United in search of another equaliser. It's an open game now. And Adelaide United have come to life yet again.
Do not count them out. Just as Auckland were masters of the late show last season, Adelaide too have it in their locker, the ability to score late, to steal points.
Just wonder what we're going to see from Craig Goodwin. He's done well, he's been instrumental in build-up play, but he is such a dual threat. Somebody that can hunt out a corner of Michael Veld's goal. Equally has an instinct for collaboration. Don't need to tell Australians how important he can be in big games, and it feels like we're heading towards a big moment at some point.
Kishumo Mai does well to retain possession of the football for Auckland. And towards Howison. And Cam Howison through the back of Bart Friends.
Friends ended up throwing himself on the ball there. Howison hustling and bustling. And the Adelaide captain, in desperation, making the most of any contact, but definitely not wanting the ball to advance towards his own goal.
Goodwin on the ball as often as Adelaide can free him up. Ayubi. Auckland FC holding firm as we head towards the 90-minute mark. An extra 4 minutes minimum to be added. Goodwin Reich with the header away. What have Adelaide got left in the tank? Ball out towards Parias. Kikianis. He can't find a teammate, and there might be a bit of a mini break on here. Mai, Rogerson looming up on the left. Howison on the right. Rogerson calling for it at the far post. He's found him. Can't quite bring it down, Logan Rogerson. And the chance is lost. Parias battling away.
Rogerson's touch let him down all by himself at the back post. That was well worked by Auckland. Composure up against a tiring, retreating Adelaide United. 3-on-3, Cam Howison able to stand up Bart Friends, and there's so much time and space. Munyi, the number 10, got himself back at the centre of defence, and Logan Rogerson needs to kill that ball. And if he does, can pick his spot up against Smits.
De Vries takes the resulting free kick. Howison back for Rogerson. Away by Munyi. Kishumo Mai. Here's Jovanovic.
Well, he waited, as we said before, with the game opening up. Now more space for Guillermo Mai to work his way into, in front of the defence, looking to bend that one just beyond Kikianis, but unfortunately lifts it over the bar.
Adelaide back on attack now. Tattoo. Fantastic tackle from Callan Elliot. Talatera looking to help it in. Every intervention is being cheered to the rafters by the Port. Here's another one, Gyagos, and off the shins of White.
Felipe Gyagos, as soon as he gets a touch on that one, turns to the Port, shoulders out, chest up. Do Auckland have the key to turn the lock? Can they shut the door on Adelaide United? We said last week, they almost conceded space against Western Sydney Wanderers. Encouraged, invited the Wanderers on. I'd argue here today, they've been beaten back by this process-driven Adelaide United.
We're into the fourth and final extra minute. Launched forward by Adelaide. Elliot has it taken off by Tattoo. Crowd don't like it. And Callan Elliot, perhaps driven on by an internal rage and not being given the free kick before, is recycled it, but now it's into the area from Adelaide. It's not clear. White. Kikianis slides it in. Hall in the way. Gyagos and Rogerson sprinting forward. Mai. Rogerson wants it. Mai finds De Vries. No, he doesn't. We've had the extra 4 minutes. All eyes on Lachlan Keevers. Goodwood Reich. Rogerson. Auckland FC complete the set. The only team they had never beaten was Adelaide United. Now they have, courtesy of goals from their imports, Sam Cosgrove in the first half, Louis Verstraete late on. Adelaide United gave as good as they got. Luka Jovanovic with an eye-catching strike. But it's Auckland FC's afternoon on their home patch, and they go top of the table for good measure. Auckland FC 2, Adelaide United 1. A happy Port. They were made to work for it, weren't they, the Port? But Louis Verstraete, 100 metres away from where they are resident, drilling home the winning goal. Lachlan Brook, high on emotion, remembering his grandfather today. And against his former club, Lachlan Brook with a substantial contribution. Luka Jovanovic, his stocks continue to rise. Another goal for him and an energetic performance. Craig Goodwin, always involved. For the first time, Adelaide United are on the losing end against Auckland FC, but it's another cracking contest as this burgeoning rivalry has another chapter. Louis Verstraete with the most significant piece of action. Auckland FC conceding for the first time this season, but doing enough to take the 3 points. They will, for the meantime anyway, go to the top of the A-League ladder. There's still a number of games to play, of course, but they stay unbeaten and they're top for the meantime. Sam Cosgrove, if there was a weight on his shoulders, lifted by his goal in the first half. Jesse Randall, well, he had a number of opportunities, hit the woodwork twice, didn't he? Well, with the header that rebounded to Verstraete, but also the save that was made at the other end by Smits. Hiroki Sakai there in the cap, departed after just a dozen minutes. Let's get you down sideline for some reaction now. Jake Brimmer is standing by.
Oh, look, Jake, the first thing you said to me, mate, was how good, how good. Summarise that one for me. Congratulations.
Yeah, look, we haven't beat Adelaide yet, so that was our first win against Adelaide. Obviously, last year there's been some entertaining games, and we managed to get the job done tonight, so we're proud of that.
It wasn't an easy one. Why do Adelaide make it so